We have an interesting situation going on in our house right now. The safest way for the dogs to get outside is through the garage. Which means, let me make sure the door is not locked behind me. Okay. And I have to walk around the discarded deck boards that are in the garage as well. I don't want that stick. What are you doing? It's a really big stick, bud. There is a distracted. There's a fire somewhere nearby, so the air quality isn't great. It kind of looks hazy. Last night was worse. It smelled like a fire and was hazy. This morning's a little bit better, but it mostly just looks overcast. I have had a busy work week, which is fine. Some weeks are like that. Set my garden collection trays down. I don't even know that I'll need the hat, but busy work week, which means that I'm really looking forward to some time just puttering around out here. I've got a lot of things on my list to do, but I'm gonna try really hard to prioritize weeding and harvesting, and then I will be fertilizing, giving you a glimpse at what I do for that, and then I need to do a foliar spray probably tomorrow morning, because I'm gonna prune today. I don't want to foliar spray things that I'm just going to be removing within a couple hours. So I have brought my collection containers out. So I've got a little antique tin tray, my thrift store basket, and then I'm hoping to harvest some peppers. Yeah, so I have 2 different colored bowls. I've got one with the black trim around the top and one with green, so I can differentiate between the 2 different types of peppers for if it's sweet or if it's hot. And yeah, it's unseasonably cool, I imagine, because the sky is covered with haze. It's like 63 right now, Fahrenheit, and it's only supposed to get up to 77 today. I'm watching some really big bumblebees pollinate the squash plants right now. It's super neat. I am feeling just like my personal cup that I have to give things with is maybe about halfway, because it's been just a demanding week. And it went well. There was nothing wrong. Just I'm now tired and I need to refill that cup. And for me, that means spending a lot of time out here. So I am going to go in and get my coffee and my water, because I carried out the containers first. Then we'll go from there. Got some of my German pinks ready to harvest. Definitely have some basil I can use. I have not spied any mature cucamelons on this side, which is slightly annoying because I planted them first. But I have seen some over by the peas in the south bed. I had one up here earlier and I totally took it to snack on, and I did not have my camera with me, so you missed that, but we'll keep an eye out for more. This plant This one did not get enough pollination. But he's stretching up pretty high. I need to secure him and the pink banana squash a little bit better on this twine up here. But I've got quite a few sweet peppers here I'm gonna harvest. The nasturtiums are kind of taking over the walkway. And this mini me cucumber looks pretty good too. He's starting to climb up pretty well. So yeah, I'm gonna harvest some tomatoes and lettuce leaves and prune back these guys because I haven't been paying too much attention to them this week. So I'm going to get some pruning done and some harvesting and maybe shorten up my flower bush that's happening here. Is the feverfew still in here? It is. It doesn't seem to be doing poorly due to the shade. So that is good news. Calendula is doing really well. I love this zeolites color. It's a little softer than the bright orange you typically see. And I'm gonna check on this pink banana squash because I don't like the look of that leaf and I'm not entirely sure why it's that way. So we'll check on the health of this guy. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's not going well. I haven't been spending as much time out here this week because I've been busy. But coming out to see damage like this on the pink banana squash is definitely worth investigating. Because I did not do a lot of like inspection last weekend. It's bound to happen at some point in the summer. So I am going to check out him. If he's diseased, I will probably just have to rip him out. That's the way it's got to go, because you're choosing between trying to save the plant that's here and risking the health of all the others, or you rip out this plant so that you have the health of all your other plants. So worst case scenario, I definitely got just this one big guy, so I can decide if I like him based off his flavor. He's supposed to be a good substitute for pumpkin. I've also planted pumpkin, so it's fine, but like, isn't he just a beautiful color? Like, look at him. And then the hot pepper area. Got quite a few of those going on. These are supposed to be the lemon drop hot peppers. Got some other, ooh, back there I've got one. So I've got a lot of these to harvest. I don't see a lot of blossom set on these. Then you're my brown jalapeno, so you're not quite ready yet, but you're pretty sizable. These are the jigsaws. They're not very sizable, but they're a beautiful color. And then I got some jalapenos in that corner. This mini rose bush, though, really satisfying. Got a couple of those little Johnny jump ups back there. So yeah, I'm gonna take care of the greenhouse today. Looks like I need to prune some sad looking leaves on these stabby tomatoes. I've got some okra I need to harvest back there. He's pretty big. I was explaining to husband that the mucilage, the slime inside the okra, is good for your gut health. And often people who want to get the benefits of that but don't like the taste or the texture or whichever, they'll freeze it as like chunks, and you can add it to smoothies. So you're still getting that benefit, but you're sort of masking the things about it you don't like. So that's an option. So it's not necessarily, I think, a snack that he enjoyed. As far as like, yeah, I really enjoy the flavor and the texture and I want to have that again. But knowing it had good health benefits, he was like, all right, I could have like one of those a day. That's cool. So now I have to share my garden snack. I might be able to harvest some of these pantry potatoes. Got a lot of beans I need to get. The amaranth is pretty tall. And then I had some surprise okra over here in the kennel bed. So yeah, I've got baby okras over here to eat. And then I've got some bean plants coming in. These should be soybeans for edamame. These are pencil yellow wax beans. Something got a hold of him. He'll probably be okay, but I'll look for some pest pressure. Potato bed looking okay? I did end up moving some logs over here. I've got to continue. I'm only 3/4 of the way. Why do you have zoomies? What is with you today? Just really feeling it? Because these are not the mushrooms I'm looking for. But I don't see any yet here. And then I'm struggling with this guy. I can't get him to stay upright with the weight of watering, and I've tried him in different places in the garden. It's just not working for me. Got some bricks I need to put away. When I'm doing fertilizing, I'm gonna pull some of the weeds from here, put them on the compost pile. But yeah, I've got this stem lettuce here I need to harvest and pull. Check out any chard. Here's my dinosaur kale that's getting pretty well eaten by these guys. I don't know how well you can see him against the green, but he is not what I'm looking for. There's 2 of them there. There's another one. So yeah, I'll be hand picking off some squishy things today. I'm less excited about that, but kind of necessary. And I'm also going to check on my cabbages, because if they're on my kale, they are more than likely on the cabbages. And I want cabbages. But yeah, things are climbing up pretty tall. Tobacco jasmine is gorgeous. Super beautiful. And I've got a couple zucchini to grab, and I don't know what it is about bees like smushing their faces in the squash blossoms, but I really like it. The thing I really like about these silver slicers, besides their taste, is they're so easy to see against the leaves. These tomatoes are looking pretty good. And then I'm pretty sure, yeah, autumn frost. This is the autumn frost squash. He's got a pretty sizable one back there. Hi, little bee. Got got another autumn frost squash. He's making his way on up. And over here, my spaghetti squash is kind of an overachiever. Gotta prune this jungle a little bit because I've got bush delicata hidden back here. And I am not sure if he's able to set any fruit quite yet because that is a spaghetti squash. So I have to trim back some of these leaves, pull some weeds like that stabby guy, and then this, whatever this is, looks like he's related to Morning Glory. But I've got some cherry tomatoes to harvest, regular tomatoes to harvest over there. And then this is the compost area that I absolutely need to do something with because that is volunteer something. I have a sneaky suspicion it is a tomatillo because those seem to be everywhere. But this is the pile I'm working on adding to right now. I'm going to put up more greenery on top and then top it with straw, water it in, and then I'm going to take the cardboard and pallet from here, move them on top here so it settles, and I'm going to go through this to see what's going on there. This is the pile that I set up last fall, right before winter, and it used to be up top, so it has definitely shrunk in size. So once I'm done going through this, I will add it to this one, which means I need to clear out some of that. That'll be nice greenery material. And I'm going to try a different system here. I have a scrap bit of tarp that I'm going to wrap around the edges to help retain some moisture because the edges are drying out really quickly. Everything I've heard about compost means that it needs a lot of airflow, but it also needs moisture. And I think it's part of my windy region that means that I perhaps need to protect the moisture level more than I need to worry about the airflow. So we are going to trial that, see how that goes. Put in some of that scrap tarp, hold in some moisture better. I saw a green strawberry last weekend and it is still green, not red yet, close. Compost. So we're going to try that, see how that works. And I will put together a feedback loop video on that. I've already taken some clips, but we'll just add to that experience. This is the last weekend we have to work on stuff before the siding man comes through to redo our siding and windows. I haven't seen Mama Sparrow, Daddy Sparrow activity in the blue birdhouse that I have close to the house that I need to move. So I'm going to keep an eye on that, shift that further away from the house and up high enough that cats won't be able to get to it, because a couple years ago we had tragedy when a cat got on the deck and like pushed the birdhouse over so they could get to all the birds. And I came out in the morning to just what was visibly a massacre, and it was upsetting, especially since I really like sparrows. But I'm going to move the birdhouse away from the house, and I have to get that done this weekend because he'll be here Wednesday and this is when I have time. So usually on the weekends, my one day is absolutely like we are resting, we are rejuvenating. Like I'll do things, but not like with a purpose. And then another day in this weekend, it'll likely be Sunday because it's clearly not today. Another day is going to be like, okay, I have these things that I seriously need to get them done. So I am going to set you down and get started on the things that I am ready to enjoy. It's been a busy week and I am I've been looking forward to this all week. I hope that you find some of your gardening activities as restful and rejuvenating as I do. Okay, I planted the things that I needed to plant. I am also going to do a foliar spray so that those can sit on the plants while I start filling the bucket to do the fertilizer. Little spray bottle. This one is 48 ounces or 1.5 liters. I'm going to put like a tablespoon and a half of Epsom salts in here, fill it with rainwater, and then I'm going to shake it until the salt is dissolved, and then I'm going to spray this on the leaves of the plants. The plants that benefit the most from this are going to be things in your nightshade family, but it helps with fruit health. So I am also going to put it on all my other squash-like plants as well. So it's certainly not going to hurt them. No more than 7 to 10 days apart would you want to do this. There's such thing as too much thing. I completed the foliar spray with just the Epsom salts in the greenhouse. There's another type of foliar spray that I've wanted to try and haven't done so yet, but we're going to do it today. So yesterday I removed all the debris from the bucket I had all of my weeds fermenting in, so that it's mostly liquid now with some particles in it. Smells absolutely terrible. Plants will like it though. And then I have my Epsom salts. So I'm going to open my container, add approximately my tablespoon of Epsom salts, and then the concentration for this does not need to be high. More of a good thing is not always good. Sometimes more of a good thing is very bad. So I'm going to put a little bit of this in here. The common dilution ratio I've seen for this is 1 to 100. A little bit goes a long way. Then I'm going to dilute with my rainwater. Rainwater is better for your plants because it has soluble nitrogen in it for the plants to be able to access. Once again, you can over nitrogen your plants. It's just something you'll have to watch for. I believe it's yellowing on the leaves. That's the indicator for that. But yellowing on the leaves can also be too much watering. You know, there's a process to figure out what that is. So I'm going to shake this up, make sure it's good and mixed. Then I'm going to go do the foliar spray out in the main garden. So I came out here about 7:30ish, and it's a little after 9:30. So in that time I did some planting. I did a foliar spray all over the garden. And then the most time consuming part was using my bucket system to apply fertilizer and Epsom salts to the soil level and the soil microbes. There's ways to speed this up in that I could put my chlorine filter on the hose, connect something like this so it dispenses at a rate you select, and then I could fill it with just the fertilizer and the Epsom salts and shake that up. And I would be able to apply that with the hose at a much faster rate. That is certainly an option. At this point, I need to get through my rain barrel so that we can move the rain barrel away from the house so that the siding man can remove the old siding and apply the new siding. So I've got some extenuating circumstances here, but the main thing is that I did not use specific measuring tools. I eyeballed it. It's an approximation. I also fed more at the base of plants that I know are hungry feeders. The other thing I did is when I was planting in different beds, I noticed what the moisture level looked like at that time underneath the mulch. So some beds I applied more of this solution to than others because the soil was more dry. I am complete with the fertilizing aspect of the day. It's a little bit later than I liked, but it's Sunday and I slept in more than I intended to. But now it's grocery store time. I'm going to come back. Yesterday I did a whole lot of pruning and harvesting. I got a fairly sizable amount. And that'll probably end like this chunk of vlog, is that the big harvest, some pruning and trellising, and giving you a visual on how I'm currently using my fertilizing system. The other note, if you are going to be using the buckets like I did, I put in my Epsom salts and my fertilizer at the bottom of the bucket and then started filling the bucket, and that agitation helped mix the fertilizer into the water so that by the time I came back with my second bucket, it was already mixed in. And then it's just easier for me to carry the little orange one, so I poured it in there, further agitating the mixture. Food for thought when you're doing your own system. If you have really good process improvements that you are really pleased with or really proud of, leave that in the comments below, because that sounds really neat and I want to learn from you. I thought this leaf pattern looked like a deliberate choice, not a weed. Minnie, get out of the garden bed. Go on. She's a menace.